I'm still reporting on the MIT and Brown University murder case. In a chilling series of events that shocked New England's academic communities, authorities have credited a homeless former Brown University physics student, identified only as John, with providing the critical tip that helped identify the gunman responsible for the December 13th mass shooting at Brown University and the subsequent murder of an MIT professor a couple of days later. John, a Brown graduate who has fallen on hard times, was known to shelter in the basement of the university's Barris and Holly building. He first encountered suspect Claudio Manuel Neves Valentin around midday on December 13th, just hours before the deadly attack. Spotting the man in a campus bathroom, John noticed his inadequate clothing for the cold weather and an unsettling, distant gaze. Their eyes locked briefly, triggering John's instincts. Suspicion mounting, Suspicion mounted, leading John to follow Neves Valente out of the building in what he later described to investigators as a tense cat and mouse pursuit across campus paths. At one point, they stood mere feet apart, and Neves Valentin snapped at John to stop harassing him. John also observed the suspect near a gray Nissan sedan with Florida plates, finding the out of state tag suspicious and approaching the vehicle for a closer look. When police released surveillance images of the suspect days later, John recognized him instantly. Using a public computer, he posted urgently on Reddit, open quote, "I'm being dead serious. The police need to look into a gray Nissan with Florida plates, possibly a rental," close quote. He detailed his pre shooting encounter with the vehicle's location. John then called the anonymous tip line, directing authorities to his own Reddit post. The vehicle information allow proved crucial, allowing investigators to trace the rental car directly to Nueves Valente, age 48, a Portuguese national and former Brown physics PhD student who entered the US on a diversity visa. For more on diversity visas, see Beth's last post. Rhode Island Attorney General Peter Naronha praised John, stating his tip, quote, "blew this case wide open," close quote. Officials described John as incredibly articulate and cooperative, noting his actions likely prevented further violence. John is eligible for a $50,000 FBI reward. Neves Valente was found dead from a self inflicted gunshot wound in a Salem, New Hampshire storage unit on December 18. Claudio Manuel Nueves Valente's background reveals a once promising physics student whose academic path ended abruptly. Born in Portugal, he excelled in national physics competitions as a teenager. From 1995 to 2000, he studied engineering physics at Instituto Superior Técnico in Lisbon, overlapping with victim Nuno Loriolo, who graduated in 2000. Neves Valente was terminated from a teaching assistant role there in February 2000. Arriving in the U.S. on an F1 student visa in the fall of 2000, he enrolled in Brown's physics PhD program, attending classes in Barris and Holly, the shooting site. Before withdrawing in 2003 as a dropout, classmates recalled him as brilliant but introverted and occasionally bullying. He briefly returned to Portugal, then re-entered the U.S. in 2017 as a permanent resident via this diversity immigrant visa program, a U.S. lottery granting up to No, yes, 55,000 green cards annually to applicants from countries with low immigration rates, aiming to diversify the immigrant population. Oh, that's just what we needed. Little is known of Neves Valente's post-academic life. His last address was Miami, Florida. Nuno F.G. Loureiro, the MIT professor fatally shot in his Brookline home 2 days later by Valente, was a 47-year-old renowned Portuguese-born theoretical physicist and fusion scientist. He served as the Hermann Feshbach Professor of Physics, held joint appointments in nuclear science, engineering, and physics, and directed MIT's Plasma Science and Fusion Center from 2024 until his death. In an era of high-tech forensics, this case highlights human vigilance. John's persistence proved that one watchful eye can break a murder case wide open. I'm still reporting from just outside the citadel of world freedom. Good day.